Hey, it's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. We're here at the ITEXPO TECHSUPERSHOW. It's the 25th anniversary of the event. The year is 2024. The month is February. It's the 41st show. And we're fortunate enough to have on our show Mike Skurla with Radix IoT. Mike, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, great. 25 years? That is amazing. That is absolutely stunning.
I started in kindergarten.
Well, this is definitely by far one of the turnout has been great. I love to see the change every year of people that show up and the different markets. The IoT side has really grown, and I love it. A lot of different technologies this year, a lot of new things that I'm surprised to see on the floor, which is great, really great.
I had one of the people I interviewed said they were bringing a conveyor belt here and they're going to show a camera system with AI and just defect detection. Like I haven't had a chance to get to the floor, but there's so, like you said, there's a ton of stuff out there.
Yeah, just it's a great difference. By the way, I should mention the conference. The conference really expanded as well upstairs. The training, not just training, but the topics that were there. There was a lot more people, and I think that's really great. It was a lot more engagement. I wouldn't even say more people, but the way it was run seemed to work really well. Again, this is my favorite show every year to come to, and not just because of the place. I mean, Fort Lauderdale's great, given I'm in Chicago, February, but it's really it's fun because you get to engage and talk to people. It's not like a typical show.
Thanks, and we should mention that you're part of the IoT Evolution, which is part of the TECHSUPERSHOW, right?
That's correct, yeah. We're part of the IoT Evolution. We've been coming I was coming before, I can't even remember, at least 5 or 6 years. We've been involved with the break with COVID, but even back in Miami, going to that one. And that IoT portion has truly grown. And what I really like about it is there is a lot more companies that seem to be, I want to use the word profitable, but entering the space that have unique propositions. Even just a few years ago, it was much smaller, and it's really expanded. Even in some of the other areas, you start looking at how they're using their technology, and they're adopting IoT as part of their propositions. It's really fantastic.
Great. What else should we know about your company?
So we're an IoT platform. We deal in commercial infrastructure. So you think of a building. One of the best things I like to say is if someone comes to us and says, hey, we want to monitor a high-rise building in New York City, generally we say, hey, you know what? You can use our software, but someone else can do it. We really excel on lots of locations, and that's why we deal in telecommunications quite a bit. You're talking about telecommunications infrastructure, a lot of unmanned locations that are really hard to get to. We monitor those assets and help them maintain it so they don't need to roll trucks. Or if they are going to roll a truck, they have the right stuff on the first trip. Because when you're dealing with some of that, the trip out there can take you 10, 12 hours. We also do a lot in renewable energy, but it's the same story. Remote locations that need help, and that's what we focus on.
Yeah, and there's a tremendous cost with truck rolls and not having the right equipment. That means 2 truck rolls, so anything you can do to minimize that. The cost curve has come down on IoT sensors that are so inexpensive to put out there that you just have to, it's better to just have wall-to-wall sensors where they're needed just to make sure you minimize the human driving back and forth.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. The cost of the sensors has gone down so much, not to mention IoT platforms like ours allow you to work with any vendor, which is great because you're no longer tied to a proprietary technology. No matter what you do, even if you've got 1,000 sites, you say everything's going to be identical. That never works out. Models change, manufacturers change, and because it's a necessity as time goes on. And that's what's really great about the IoT ecosystems these days, is that it's made to support that change and diversity. So actually it helps reduce cost for people because they can price compare and use different things, and then use that data for whatever their purposes are. So yeah, it's again, really an interesting field. We've been doing great. This is one of the only shows we love to sponsor because it's perfect for our business.
Well, great. Thank you for being here. Before we sign off, for those people that are watching who may not be as familiar this first time they're watching this video, learning about you, what types of businesses or titles should reach out that, hopefully you can help those people?
We would love to have particularly people who are dealing with large portfolios of different built infrastructure. So you're talking facility management, CRE companies, property owners themselves. There's a huge market within that. Anyone who is looking to say, we have a lot of locations and we're not going to put a human being in every one of them because it's cost prohibitive, that's who we want to talk to. And honestly, we're happy to tell you, there's a better solution for you in some cases. Just like I said, the New York City high-rise example. But we've got a pretty interesting proposition that we believe price-wise is really competitive and lets you use all of these different devices without being locked in.
And how do people find you online?
Radix IoT, Radix IoT.com.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Again, great show.